YouTube, what's going on? Daniel here, another quick video. My plan was to shoot one yesterday, but things got a hand, was with family. Everything was perfect. Was able to spend time with baby cousin and see a friend as well. And a day of, introspection and just seeing how I've grown. But today, as every day, I'm on my morning walk, 4:40 wake up, haven't missed in a year, and just share wisdom on my story, so you can go see my Instagram. But had a reflection as I was typing in the morning, which is what I began to do, new habit, just connect with God, speak with God, and speak out loud and type and have the reflection with Him, and then read the Bible. So I'm reading Psalms, I'm reading the songs. I believe it's the King of David, and I read those in the morning, just get a little dose of the Bible before I go my morning walk, and reflect and just share from the source when you're connected. I want to speak about something and ask you guys something, those watching, because something that I've seen is the most important thing. I got another reminder on my Saturday call with my mentor, coach, one of my coaches, Yados, and he's attained a large level of success, crazy level, and he mentioned that people don't like where they're at and always looking for the next level of the future, the next 5 years, 10 years, is because they don't enjoy the process. Everyone, like myself at one point, was just focused on the result. And I can think back to 2 times when I enjoyed the process and grew crazy and was super grateful and loved things and was in the moment, and when I loved the result and was lost in chasing a feeling and thinking that the next thing was going to give me what I wanted. And I can tell you that you will grow the most, you will feel the most alive, most passionate, most fulfilled, or just most enjoyment, feel like a kid, when the process is what you live for, not the result, not, that material thing or that relationship, or that money. People think money is, chasing a result. When I have that money, then I can feel what I want to feel. And people leave their fulfillment to something external. Like I said, they don't enjoy the process. They'll do whatever for money. Like I was at the point of starting a OnlyFans agency to manage models, because I just wanted money. I didn't care how I made it. I said this is going to be it. And thankfully, God, with my conscience, was able to talk me out of that with so much regret, and just waking up in the morning and feeling like shit and thinking this is not it. This is not my life. And then guiding me to where everything is now, to where I can wake up, like I said, at 4:40 every day in the morning, put on a weighted vest, 50 pounds, walk, speak to a community that I'm building, to show them faith and not darkness, in a world full of darkness, full of, vices and people telling you that everything is external, when, like I said, it's either the process or you falling for that trap. So the beginners, ask yourself now, if you're watching this and feel bad, and that's the clear indicator. It's like your dashboard, you having a car, the dashboard is blinking with something. You feeling bad is an indicator that you're not doing something right, that you're not aligned, that you're not connected to the one with all the answers, who's trying to speak to you. That you're just listening to noise and not signal. That is your signal or your indicator that things need to begin to change. I'm changing my arms because I have this vest. When you're holding it, you understand. But you have to realize and see if it's the process, or find the process that you love. Find the thing that you like to do and ask yourself if you would do it, even if there's no result. If nothing else is given to you for the rest of your life, can you keep doing this thing over and over? And it has to be something that you enjoy, that you're good at, can bring value to people, of course. But it's what's going to keep you with a sense of fulfillment. Because I said, if you're just doing it for the result, like I was, you get lost in that world. You get lost in lust and desires and thinking it's something else and this and that, and basically burning yourself out. I'll sit down and finish this, but I was there and know how you feel. If you're watching right now and maybe had a weekend full of chasing women and thought that was it, with your friends, clubs, parties, whatever it is, and you still feel empty, and Monday morning comes, you're dreading Monday, you're like, fuck, I have to go work and do something I don't want to do, to go and escape again next week. And I've been there. I've had countless jobs where I was just doing the bare minimum, whatever it was, just to make enough so I can go live for the weekend and live for that high that you think is there. But I mentioned this before, you're simply living for the devil. And also, it's never going to fill you. You can take it from me, or you can continue on your path. But I did that for 3 or 4 years, never missing a weekend, sacrificing time with family, friends, people I knew for a long time, to chase this lust. In the beginning, I enjoyed the process, and I enjoyed, even if I didn't get anything, or any kind of number or whatever it was with women, I enjoyed just simply going up to them and growing, and that process of being able to do that. But eventually, when I got proficient, I lost that and simply wanted the results. I'm like, okay, if I don't get a girl tonight, it's an unsuccessful night, and getting mad and frustrated, and times I wouldn't sleep because I didn't sleep with somebody. That's how lost and gone I was in that. But I would lose sleep because I didn't get the result and couldn't, add a number to the month or to the year I was going for, because all I focused on was numbers. I just saw women as numbers, saw, women, and basically that's just another hole. And as sad as that sounds, that's how it gets in terms of, the connection you lose with a human being and also with yourself. And you lose your spirit, your soul, and the energy. Like, you have to turn it off to sleep with as many people as you want. And you may not think it because your ego tries to convince you otherwise, so you can keep going down this path. The thing about ego, if you question it right now and are watching, ask yourself how you feel after that girl, or after that thing that you promised yourself would be the thing that's going to make you stop, whether it's a trip or maybe it's a threesome, like I thought. Ask yourself how you feel after. Do you feel fulfilled? Like, when everything stops and a girl leaves and she takes her cab home, or that the party ends and everyone's gone and you're by yourself, either with a girl or by yourself. Sit with yourself and see how you feel, and tell me if that's something you want to keep doing. And if you're starting to get the answer now of that you're going the wrong way, because like I said, the indicator for if you're going the wrong way or not is how you feel when everything stops, when it's just you and God and your conscience. How do you feel? Ask yourself. Stop avoiding it and stop putting it to the side and thinking it's okay, now I can just add this, and you start to distract yourself with maybe a TV show, or I don't know, music and all these distractions. Sit with yourself for a day with nothing, no music, no TV show, no porn, whatever you want to watch, or girls, or dating apps, or social media. Just sit with yourself and see how you feel. And I promise those demons will come out, and you'll start to question and know that's the wrong way. If you're chosen, that's why you're watching. If you're not chosen, I mean, your conscience will never speak to you, and unfortunately, your life is just to be with the devil, and live for him and what he wants for your life. But when you have a calling, like I believe all of us do, and God is with you, he'll speak to you through your conscience in those moments that you don't want to listen because you think I don't like my thoughts and stuff like that. Like I said, the clearest indicator is how you're feeling after. Not when you're doing it and you're with a girl and you're fucking the girl, whatever it is. Cool, everyone can get lost in that lust and that feeling. But afterwards, ask yourself how you feel. And it's after the actions you take and the habits you have, and how you feel after that is the clearest indicator of where you're going. So, like I said, if you're doing it just for the results, you're not going to like what you're doing. You're not going to like how you feel during, or even after, because you have to go back to doing something that you don't like to get the result again. So that's why, ask yourself, do you live for the result, or do you live for the process? That's the only question that really matters, because you have a short life. You may think, in your 20s, you think you have forever. Your 20s pass. I just turned 30, and I can tell you they pass very fast, especially when you're fucking around and just losing it in women and parties and drugs and stuff like that. So ask yourself, give more time to yourself, and ask yourself, am I doing this just for results, or am I doing this because I actually love what I'm doing? And regardless of the result, I can keep doing this over and over and fall in love more with the process, because yeah, I realize that the result is the process. People that love the result only will never, will stop after the results. People that love the process will always keep going, will always find a reason or things keep attracting to me because they just don't need the next level. They just need the present moment and right now. And like the saying goes, the man who loves the journey will go farther than the man that loves the destination. Because yeah, the one that likes to walk and enjoys, the process of walking to where he's going to go will always go farther. He doesn't need the destination. He doesn't need that feeling that it's going to be here or there. The feeling of him walking is the result. I'm not sure if you understand, if you're getting it. So it's very cliche, sounds stupid, but as you get older and realize that you want to do big things, you're meant here for big things, that's the only thing determining factor if you will do it or not. If you're just doing it for result, if it's for money, for girls, for a house, for a car, or if you're doing it for a process that you love, and those things will just come as a consequence, because everything will come as long as you enjoy and love what you do, because you're doing it for God. And because, like I said, God gives you everything. God brings everything that you've had, will have, or you can sign a contract with the devil and get things fast, but they'll escape faster. Anything that comes fast will leave faster, especially if it's with the devil. So that is the message for this Monday. A little cold here in Canada, but everything's perfect. I'm going to continue my walk and then read Bible and reflect. But I love this process. I can keep doing this over and over, and we'll keep doing this over and over, because I will give faith to the world, share my wisdom, share my story, how I grow, and God knows what's in my heart, what desires I may have or may not have, and will give them to me when I'm ready, because He knows best. You can plan your life, but God is the ultimate planner and will give you the steps once you're aligned and connected, and just basically a vessel that He can speak into. And you have to have the courage to do that in faith and take the step, or operate in fear and need the whole journey and need, step 1 to 50 figured out, and then you can take the step and be like, oh, let me just take the step now after I know the whole journey. Or you can just let go and trust that He knows the way and go from there. So like I said, when you trust the process and love the process, you don't need the result. You don't need to see, whatever it is, indicators of if you're getting the result. You love the process. You don't need the result. You need the next level, and that's when it comes to you, because you're someone that attracts. You don't have to chase. So that's a message for those coming out of maybe a Sunday or weekend eclipse of basically parties, and becomes a blur after a while. If you haven't noticed already, the girls you sleep with and the parties you go to, it's all a big blur, because you're not actually connected to what matters, because you're a spiritual person living a physical experience, not the other way around. But anyways, that's a message. You can follow the habits, my life on Instagram. I'll put it below, and like and subscribe if you like the content. If you stayed till the end, much love. Appreciate you guys. Always, giving value where I can, wisdom, and this channel will keep growing, and I will share more of what God gives me and also put me through in the past to share with you guys. So God bless. Enjoy your Monday. And as always, until next time, keep killing it.